See, God will let a little trouble come to confirm to you, you mine, boy. You doing just what I want you to do, and that's why Satan is trying to mess with you. So as they were going where God told them to go, they were in the midst of the water, they were on the boat, and things got rough. They went and woke up Jesus. That's called prayer again. They went and woke up Jesus. First, they were talking to each other. They, in their humanity, tried to put the water out the boat. Then they said, we better pray. And prayer is communication with the divine. So then they go wake up Jesus, prayer. They talk to Jesus. And then Jesus, in the midst of the prayer is talking to God Almighty. Prayer is communication with the divine. In the midst of prayer, God calms down their earthly situations. Let me tell you something. I want you to get ready this week in the midst of your prayer. He's going to have stuff fall down in your life. I want that's going to make you shout, see? You're going to move to a place this week when you are talking to the divine, that which you're talking to him about, at the same time, it's going to fall down in your life. That trouble just going to be silenced. The storm of finances are just going to be silenced. The storm of health issues are going to be silenced. The storm of unemployment are going to be silenced. The storm of a bad neighbor, bad supervisor, it's going to be right there in that prayer. See, sometimes, catch that revelation, sometimes God will have us to pray over and over again sometimes. He'll have us to wait on that thing. But I'm telling you, this week, you're going to pray a prayer. And while you're praying, he's going to say, peace, be still in your situation. Now, when he do that, see, when he calmed the wind and the waves, the disciples said, who is this dude? What manner of man is this? Basically, they say, it's a wonder. And I want you to see, stay in prayer long enough till you can say, what manner of man is this? There's a wonder about what he can do in my life and in my situation. So I want you to go back to the old time church. And I want you to get you a real good flowery prayer together. Get you one of them old school prayers together this week, Kathy. Tell us how good he is in the most poetic prose you can put together. I mean, put that prayer together this week, man, and say that prayer to somebody. They're going to say, oh, who you talking about, man? I'm talking about God Almighty. Ain't he good? So that is power when we move into adoration. But there's another one. Watch this now. I'm going to teach by the clock. When the clock up, we're going to go. Look here. The other one is confession. Now, let me show you what the Lord told me on this. Watch this. Lord says, see, the problem with the confession is that we think in terms of the police department. Watch this. See, you know if you confess, them folks finna get you, man. Soon as you confess, they gonna get you. And the lawyer tell you have the right to remain silent. You know, and they gonna read you your Miranda rights. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. And so what has happened over time, the word confession has a bad name to it. Confession means to admit something so that you can be punished in the eyes of some. But that's not what confession is in the eyes of God. That's not what Jesus means in prayer here. Well, watch this now. You say, well, come on, preacher. Well, listen, guess what makes me right with God? What Jesus has done. See, righteousness is not something I do. Righteousness is something I put on. See, I put on a cloak of righteousness, which is Christ, which is what Christ has done. So what makes me right with God is Jesus. So I said, so God he ain't simply talking about that. Confess what well, this is what he's saying. See who you really are. That's what he's talking about in this confession. See, prayer is an opportunity of self-discovery. I love psychology. And in our modern time, we have pop psychology. You know, there are terms that only psychologists used to use that we use now, like self-esteem. Everybody knows how many people know what self-esteem means? 30 years ago, we didn't know what no self-esteem meant. You know, but there's such pop psychology now. And there are so many psychological terms that are being used in the everyday language of the people that they call it pop pop psychology, everyday psychology, popular psychology. But there was another psychology that we had. There was another healing place that we had, and it was called church. See, and in that healing place of church, there's going to be some preaching, there's going to be some praise, and there's sure going to be some what? It's going to be some praying. And so it's in that atmosphere that we have all kind of confessions. And in the African-American church, one of those to be specific, if we look through the history, we'll remember that the songs would confess for us. The gospel song would tell us what we did. The gospel song would ask for forgiveness for us. And all we had to do was sing the gospel song. We would be confessing before God and asking him for forgiveness and moving on down the road. And sometimes the song would go forth and the church would get in a fervor. And I'm sure, Kathy, you sung one of them old songs growing up. God give you that song, you get to sing that song, tear up the whole church. Because it becomes a moment of great confession. A moment where we begin to see ourselves. You'll find a tear come down your face. You'll find a smile, a frown. But I want you to know that prayer is your opportunity to see where you are. A couple of things in prayer, when you find yourself confessing, you should see. First of all, your personality. You know, we're not the same. We're not the same. You know, sometimes I tell people, I believe Jesus laughed. He might have told some jokes. You know, all jokes not dirty. A lot of jokes are clean. And we take away the humanity of Jesus. We take away the personhood. We take away the personality. See, the thing about Jesus that makes it difficult, he's 100% God and he's 100% man. He's not 90% God and 10% man. He's not God and something like humanity. 100% man and 100% God. I want you to know we all have a personality. What do you like? See, what do you like? Sometimes we get in such a rut, we forget what we like. You ever had that happen to you in your life? You don't even know your favorite color anymore. You know, my kids, I have 2 girls, and I know my youngest child, her favorite color is, wow, okay. And the oldest one, her favorite color is pink. So they started saying, Daddy, what's your favorite color? I was like, see, they gave me one, so that's my favorite. I couldn't think of my favorite color. Now, how can they have a favorite color and I don't have one? And what is my favorite color? What? And I began to think about that for a while. Then I began to ask them, what's my favorite color? Red and green, that's my favorite color. But what is your favorite color? What do you like to do? I can cook. And I kind of enjoy cooking. Kind of, you know. But my wife, she loves it. She says it's therapeutic for her. Now, it ain't therapeutic for me. I'll do it. And I enjoy doing it, but I'm going to be tired when I'm finished, you know. It ain't therapeutic for me. But for her, it's therapeutic. And so sometimes I'll encourage her, go make a cake. Go get you some therapy. You want to cook? You want to cook this fish or you want me to cook it? I'll cook it, but I get you some therapy. What is it? How do you get your therapy? See, you have a personality. And when we go to God in prayer, who we are should come to the table. Who are you? If you had a bucket list, the Kentucky Derby ran yesterday, and one of the gentlemen, the co-owners of the horse that won, he says, wow, I don't have much to put on my bucket list. Winning the Kentucky Derby was on his bucket list. How many people would put that on their bucket list? Y'all can care less, right? But what's on your bucket list? That's important to him. See, God allowed your personality to be developed. A lot of it has to do with genetics and things of that nature, but some of it just has to do with how he has developed you over life. The storms he's allowed you to come through. And he's developed a uniqueness of you. You have a unique set of fingerprints. Even your voice is unique. You have a unique, I saw a commercial the other day on Wells Fargo, and it says something now they have this voice activated deal where you can call into the bank and voice activate. The guy said, well, my brother sounds just like me. She said, don't worry about it. Your voice sound is unique. Then she says, and we also have eye identification. He said, well, my brother had, she said, don't worry about it. It's kind of like your fingerprints. It is unique to you. And it's something that the technology can see the uniqueness of our eyes, the uniqueness of our hands, our fingertips, the uniqueness of our DNA. So what do you like?